Hello YouTube, Team the Lockhart here, and I'm gonna do a series for you guys, starting with this video, obviously, talking about the ban list, since I see a lot of people, already starting to discuss the ban list, what they want, what they actually think is gonna happen. So, like I said, I'm always gonna break it down to a couple videos. This video is gonna be cards that are currently on the list in some way, shape, or form, that are gonna trickle down to go to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and so forth. I'm going to do another video with cards that are currently on the ban list that are going to stay exactly where they're at, and these will be cards that people are kind of discussing about, you know, because Harpy's Feather Duster is never going to leave the ban list, right? But Giant Trunade might, so, you know, discuss about that. And then another video, cards that aren't on the list, coming on the list, and then, yeah, a little recap video for all three of the videos. So, we're going to start off with this video, like I said, cards that are on the ban list that I think will either trickle down or just completely come off the ban list, starting from 5 to 1, 5 being either least important or least likely. With this list, I'll explain. So let's jump right into it. Number 5 is Night Assailant, and Night Assailant is a card. It is a level 3 Fiend effect monster, Dark. When it's flipped, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. That's pretty good. When this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, target one flip effect monster in your graveyard, accept this card, and return that target to your hand. Now, it's good. I don't really see how it would be used right now. I mean, no one uses flip effects except Raikou. You can make an argument that it would help Lightsworn, but maybe I'm missing some. Two of these I could be missing something with, like the card and why it's still banned, or why this one's currently limited to 1. I can see it going limited to 2. I just don't think it's amazing. The fourth one is a card that I don't know why it ever got limited. I don't know why it ever got semi-limited. I don't know why it's still on this fucking list. And again, maybe I'm missing something here, but Magical Stone Excavation is at 2, and I think it should be at 3. I just always thought this card was just 2-, like too much of a minus to be good. You discard 2 cards, and you get a spell from the grave and add to your hand. So you're using the Magical Stone Excavation. You have to discard 2 cards, and then you get 1 spell. That's a -2 from my math. Yeah, you can use it in Dark Worlds, but it's currently at 2. It doesn't see use in Dark Worlds right now. Is it discard? Let me look. Yeah, it's discard, okay. And it's still not being used in Dark Worlds, so honestly it doesn't matter. So that's where the list, that's when the boring part of the list stops. Sorry about that. Here's the good part of the list now. Number 3, Kalute. Now, I think Kalute's currently at 1, and for those who don't know, it's the Blackwing Honest. When you attack, or when one of your Blackwing monsters is attacked or is attacked, you drop it, it gains 14 attack. I hate Blackwings. It's one of the few archetypes I hate. I also hate Infernities, but this card should at least go to 2, since they are making, and the reason I'm saying this is because they are currently making, at least in the OCG, they're going to come out with 2 or 3, I can't remember, like, new Blackwing Synchros. And you would think that, like, since they're obviously trying to make Blackwings at least more usable, that they would come back with maybe a little bit more support with them. And a lot of people are crying mercy about how they want Blackwings to come back for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a cheap archetype. And Kalute going to 2 would help the archetype. I don't think it would rise from the ashes, but you're going to see it played at your locals now. Number 2. Now, the next 2 cards are going to be banned cards that are currently banned, that I think are going to go back to 1. Basically 1. Number 2 is Magician of Faith. And I say this because I currently don't think that spells matter in this format. I think it's about monsters, and that's about what you're going to use to destroy your opponent's monsters and to save yours, and then it's spells. I mean, when you really think about it, the most important spell, arguably, in this format is like MST and Forbidden Lance. Because it's all about protecting your monsters, and by doing that, you have to destroy your opponent's traps and make sure your guys aren't affected by it. So it's like MST and Lance are the two most important spells in this format, right? And there's a lot, like, there's not, with all the decks at OTK, oh, and by the way, Georgianos are going to be out the next, when this Banlist comes up, okay? So, keep that in mind. So, are flip effects really, like, flip effects are it's just too slow. I mean, you would see some play in some decks. Like in Chaos decks, you probably see it one Magician of Faith. But in most just normal run-of-the-mill decks, you're not going to see it being played because it gets too easily, it could get destroyed pretty easily. Like, you know, it's just slow. I don't think it would have an impact on the meta like it used to. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Number one is the one that everybody's asking for. And I hate to say this card, because I've said it for like the last 2 times I've done stuff like this, and if I'm going to keep saying it until it comes back, and with Georgianos coming out, with Heretics apparently getting usable when the next pack comes out, with 6 Samurais starting to make a little bit of a comeback with the new structure deck, you have to bring back Oppression to 1. It just has to happen, right? It's like it would be mind-boggling if they don't bring it back, because it just helps so much. I can understand them not bringing it back because they're Konami and they like to troll sometimes, but every so often they like throw a bone, and you think like if they didn't do it last format, you think they'd be like, okay, here, and like Oppression, that's the best. I mean, I really don't have to explain myself in this one because everyone pretty much knows why Oppression should come back. It's because all this shit fucking come out that Oppression's gonna be like, no. And plus, it'll help the anti-meta game a lot because it's always fun when like, I hate my fucking laptop. It's always fun when you see like 32 the top 32 and like there's like 12 different decks. Will Oppression can help that because it'll help a lot of anti-meta decks be able to compete. And with triple Mystical Space Typhoon, 1 Heavy Storm, Night Beam being a thing, you know, Will and Decree being a 3, Will Oppression, it can just be stopped more. You know, like it's able to be stopped. I mean when it was banned, I believe MST was like banned or at 1 heavy. It was like Trunade was like the card, not heavy. Cold Wave was a thing, you know. But now that MST's at 3, I don't see the big deal about bringing Will Oppression back, since it'll be so easy to beat. Everyone in some way, shape, or form main decks or side decks 2 MSTs, it seems. So most people doing it at 3, so I don't see the big deal about bringing Oppression back. It'll help, but it can get easily destroyed at the same time. So this is what I think. This is my first prediction list. The cards that I think are going to trickle down in the ban list. Stay tuned for my other 2 lists.